outside both from Ultra Pro and Jens Olsen. Sebastian Ocampo lining up 4th from Marcus Adelaide and Dominic Mendel. For teammate David Serra in 7th, then we have Rainbow in 8th, Tom Leon and Lanform. With Racket Company in 11th place, we have UK Ball lining up 12th from Damian Castro, Carl Zamorano, Castillo, Tackle McDonald, Stephen Headley, Delivery, and finally we got Zygmunt, Dan Butler, Marcus Klein, and Daniel Boksarov. So here we go, 5 red lights to the Malaysian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go off at the front. We have 14 laps ahead of us. Ultra not the best of getaways. Jens also gets a good getaway, but on the outside line that's not going to benefit him. Ultra managing to just get down the inside of the just like UK Ball getting a penalty. Off the track goes Ultra, he has the inside line, but he can't keep that first position, which he could have possibly got as a Renault in the back of the bracket company the wrong way round. The yellow flag is the reason why Ultra had to see the position, so there we go. So the yellow flag should be cleared soon if Crumpley can get away, which he looks like he just can. 6 rounds out in the car, it's a disastrous start for him. The track has been cleared and everyone go racing once again. By the time it cleared, everyone had already got out of that sector, so if you're already racing at full speed once again. Yeah, this track has a very dangerous corner. It's a corner that's caught many people out. Everyone got through it safely though this time, which is really nice to know. We know there was a lot of chaos in the 2017 installment of the Malaysian Grand Prix. Here we go as we head down the penultimate straight. BS continues to lead and he's had a pretty good exit on that third to last corner, on the penultimate corner. And it's obviously allowed him to pull that 1 second lead out. And down the back straight, his lead seems to have gotten worse. Ultra getting a much better exit to that corner. Sebastian Ocampo down in P4. His title chance has been slipping away recently. This race would be perfect to try and get some redemption and closing the points gap in this World Championship. Damian Castro gets a track limits warning. Now he's in the house down P13 as Thierry Headley gets a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. So the racing point getting really aggressive, probably a collision for his teammate if I'm going to be honest, because those two are fighting at the moment. That looks to be the area where the contact was made, so probably fighting his teammate as the reason. But yeah, hard tyres. There's only one hard tyre runner today, that is Tackle Van Horn, who's soon to be overtaken by Butler down the inside. Butler goes and he moves through into 17th place, but Van Horn got better traction and the inside line here. That's enough for him to take that place back. He's up in P17 once again. But around the outside, Butler fighting back aggressively. And some companies still on the track without pitting. I don't know why. Probably would have wanted to pit, but here we go as we head down the back straight once again for the second time this race. Ultra's had a bad exit and he's over a second behind. This is the worst situation for him. Also set to pass up this race. Could also go for a move at some point. You can see Ultra BDS right in front of him. He just needs a couple good corners and he'll be ready to attack the Colombian. Safe to say though, this McLaren has got quite a bit of pace ever since they got them upgrades that came in out of nowhere. And it's looking really good for their constructors battle. The top 4 though separated by such a small margin, and there's just no room for error as we head round this track. Olsen looking at a final throw right now, can't get ahead at the moment. Sebastian Ocampo just on the back of them, waiting for his moment to try and strike. Except that moment is not now. You have to wait a little bit of time, as somehow no one's been taken out by that one corner yet, so that is good to know. Hopefully there's no commentator's curse there, as we are heading on to the 4th lap very shortly. BDS managing to pull the gaps out when he needs, and this is keeping him in the lead this race, even when drivers get DRS. And despite Ultra having DRS, BDS still quicker down that straight, which is very interesting, not normally a common thing to see. But yeah, first pit stop shall be coming in very shortly. The chance we could see one coming up now for the soft tyre runners. However, it is pretty unlikely that will happen. But it's still a possibility that does well exist. as you can look at the minimap, and that will be showing the driver's live position on track and no one coming into the pit lane just yet. Directly getting a warning. That's not good because he already got a penalty. So you got to be pretty careful. If the tyres wearing out, drivers are under a lot of risk around this corner. Into the wall goes no one somehow, but they only just held off by a matter of centimeters. Could even be millimeters. That is how close it was getting between them. Meanwhile, Damien Castro picking up a 5-second time penalty. Lanfong in a good position for Haas right now, in a position right now that will score a point for Renault. Every point matters when you're Renault right now. As yet, look at that, Ultra tires are really worn out in comparison to BDS, who's managed to tires a lot better than the rest of these guys. He should be coming into the pit shortly. Lanfong going up into 10th place, I think. The track is getting dark. Well, that's because of the clouds. As in the pit lane comes Ultra Pro and Sebastian Ocampo. Ultra Pro going on the hards, Sebastian Ocampo going onto the mediums. Max Adelaide getting held up massively there. That is very much damaging for the McLaren, who's lost a lot of time there, I can say for sure. As BDS and Olsen heading around the line that marks Sector 2. They're in the second sector now. Now what can Ultra and Sebastian do on this outlap? Because Ocampo's actually managed to get the jump on Ultra, and he's on a better compound, so you can try and use that to his advantage. And into the wall goes Blade Dragon Sonic, your race leader, no longer the race leader. Also moves up into first place. Now BDS is trying to pick his foot up once again. Rail hitting the wall, and this is where the chaos starts to occur. As BDS cannot hold on anymore. And into the wall goes Damien Castro. I told you this is what was going to happen. Headley, I think he might hit the wall. Yes, he does, and he's out of the race! Oh! Going vertical in the racing point. And that is a very dangerous situation to be putting yourself in. This here, though, must be a godsend for some of these drivers on the softs who are getting around this corner now. He is one of Daniel Baltasaro, but the BSC is ending, and BDS has just got no pace. You have to come in the pit and slap. You probably would have been coming in anyways. As here we go, the track is even darker. Now he's moving on to softs, maybe, and Blade Sonic is as well. But maybe this is what was being planned out of these teams. Maybe they think the rain is coming, and they need to try and utilize some soft tire pace before the rain comes. So maybe this was already forecasted down at McLaren and Dragon Racing. As there we go, there are the two guys who was second and fourth before. It's Sebastian Ocampo and Ultra. Ultra's got tyres that can get at the end of this race. Ocampo probably not. So Red Bull, Dragon, and also McLaren will be hoping for some rain. Out of the race goes Dominic De Benedetto. And we're going to get nothing about his car. No information about it. No information of where he crashed as well. Unless you were looking at the minimap. I was not. David Ricciardo, though, he is currently leading this race. Rain right now would be perfect for him. He would get an easy pit stop. However, we don't know how likely this will be. This could just be some dark clouds passing over Malaysia here. We'll have to find out, though. As he's going to come around the penultimate corner in just a few moments time there. Ocampo's got to get ahead of Eduardo, though, because Eduardo is going to start to hold him up. And there we go, Ocampo down the inside, getting ahead of Eduardo with no issues whatsoever. Ultra may have a bit of a more difficult time because he's going around corners. And DRS should certainly come to his advantage as Ultra is forced to the outside line. And that line, there we go, signifies DRS. He has got it. He's charging down straight at a rapid pace. David Ricciardo staying out, and Olsen down the inside, getting a double overtake on Olsen and Ocampo, pulling an absolute blinder, but it's really come back to bite him. He drops down into P5 once again as Eduardo comes into the pit lane. As we're on lap 7 of 14. Here in Malaysia, Ricciardo is still staying out, which is very impressive. He's going to have to really try his best to not hit any walls at all. because he is pretty likely to hit a wall here, as his tires are very much in a bad state, and he survives 32%. Also getting ahead of Ultra, and this is ideal for Sebastian. As the cover, lap fall in the Renault, hitting the wall, going up into the air. That is a very big shunt, and he's going to end up holding BDS and Ultra up because his car is in a very critical condition. I don't know if that thing can continue on much longer, but what I am saying right now is, yeah, that had a pretty bad impact. Ultra trying to get around the outside of the Renault, and he does get ahead. Here is David Ricciardo coming into the pit lane, finally giving in. He's going to be going on softs, which will try and take the end of this race, as Sebastian Ocampo will take the lead of the Grand Prix. Jens Olsen following behind with DRS. He is in striking distance of the Red Bull driver. Now the Red Bull probably going to be making another stop today, and he has 5 seconds over Ultra, which is good because every second will matter by the time this race comes to a close. And down the inside, Jens Olsen goes up into first position, utilizing them soft tires really well. Now 5 laps seem to be the maximum you can do on the soft compound tire, and that is a very risky thing to do because you saw the drivers constantly hitting walls and stuff just by being out on that tire for 5 laps. So drivers are more likely to come in after 4 laps, which would indicate that Olsen would be hitting the end of the next lap, as Van Horn picks up a penalty in P9 at the moment. He's still due to hit this Grand Prix. He's been holding really well on that tyre though, I'm going to be honest, so well done to him. Just that penalty is there, and it's obviously going to be affecting his race. As also continues to extend his advantage out in front. Here at the Malaysian Grand Prix, he's going to enter lap 9 as the race leader. If he hits at the end of this lap, you'll have 5 laps to go, which in mediums would be the best tyre to go on in this case. Now BDS is also right here, his tyres are wearing out. He might hit at the end of this lap just like Jensen Olsen. So McLaren and Dragon have got some strategy calls to try and make here. Ultra is just going to be here to get some decent pace and use that pace to get the end of this race. Now you will have to deal with David Ricciardo, his rival from last season, his title rival, shall I say. Tom Leon into P6 right now. Adelaide getting ahead of Ravo. Those two are side by side around the left-hander. As to go around the right-hander, Ravo changing line mid-corner. Okay, gotta be careful, Ravo. You might hit the wall. He slows down, of course, losing a lot of time, but if he didn't do that, he could have easily risked himself being out of this race. Sebastian Ocampo lacking the pace. Olsen has got a lot of pace into the wall, comes versus Theo. As his tyres, they're wearing out, they're getting to their absolute maximum now, really. And in the middle sector, Butler. Now, Olsen will be hoping for a virtual safety car to come out, as there is a Renault coming around that corner. Not into the wall, though. And to be another car, that's down on Sarov, who survives that. His only other hope would be for, Klein to have an incident, that's unlikely. As Olsen comes into the pit lane, Blender Sonic also in the pits, just like I said. Olsen's risking the softs. He's going to be risking... Oh, Inters! There's Inters coming out for Tom Leon. As rain will start to fall, I think. There's no rain at the moment. And yes, there is now. It's an absolute strategy. A strategy fumble there by Olsen and Blade Dragon Sonic, who had the worst scenario possible to them. They're going to have to come into the pits at the end of this lap once again. And Tom Leon, he's going to benefit massively with these inters. Ocampo, this is what he was hoping for down the Red Bull. Red Bull hoping for rain. Rain has come. And Sergio, he has got the benefit in the end of it, because he's not that far off the lead of this race. And rain is now falling down here. And in the middle sector, into the wall goes Olsen on fresh tyres. That's a bit surprising. His tyres were probably cool though, that would explain it. Tom Leon moving up into 10th position as he is constantly digging into the lead that Sebastian Campo has. Everyone on the dries are just in absolute agony in terms of pace. You've got zero pace at all, and Tom Leon is flying around the Malaysian circuit here. As in the pit lane will come Ocampo, Davis Ricciardo will follow behind for a final 4-lap shootout. Now what can Tom Leon do? Because he is constantly gaining every moment of the race that passes. Now Ultra obviously going to be pitting. Eduardo gets a fast time out causing a collision. Now here is Tom Leon coming around the final corner. And many people diving into the pit lane. Ravo staying out once again. What is the Ferrari doing? And for Tom Leon, he's going to be coming out in a net third position. It's currently looking to be a 1-3 for Red Bull Racing. Now I have no clue what Ferrari are doing. They've got to get some new strategists because Ravo keeps staying out every time there's rain. He keeps doing that and it's completely ruining the races for him. Now Tom Leon on the back of Sergio on the back of Ocampo, and Ocampo's going to get through up into first place. Absolutely perfect for him. Eduardo in 6th at the moment, but the 5-second time penalty is there, and it's going to probably ruin the race for him as the audios went. Okay. Sorry about the audio going there. Hopefully that should be fixed soon. Ravo, obviously, he's been overtaken by many cars. Eduardo will soon lap him. Not soon lap him, soon get past him. And we're entering the final 3 laps any moment now. There we go. Audio is back. So sorry about the technical difficulties as we go around the final corner. This race is looking perfect for Sebastian Campo. And Ucable, I didn't even notice, but he's also stayed out as well on the medium. So Ravo and Ucable are the huge losses right now. Ravo should be coming into the pits now at the end of this lap. Castro should be going up into 7th place, and he does. Ravo crawling around that track painfully. This should promote Blair Jack Sonic up the points. Also another 5-second time penalty, and Sebastian Campo will be delighted. And Red Bull, it's currently 1-2 for them. Oh, it's Sergio for puncture. He's got a front left puncture. And that's going to be another race ruined today. As Mark Sadler and Eduardo, who are in a fight of their own, they're going to be interfered by Davis Ricciardo. Eduardo pulls through. Adelaide struggling. And Eduardo's up into a 4th position right now. He is currently on for what should be a P7 result today. Actually, could be P6 as well. Obviously not going to keep that because of that penalty that's there. Unless people behind him also get penalties, then that will give him some more places. And it'll give Williams some happiness. Yeah, no matter what, Williams on for a good result. And out of the race goes Blade Jackson. Oh, the car flipped, and that is Ricciardo's car. BDS today going from bad to worse to even worse. As the virtual safety car has been deployed. Red Bull currently leading a 1-2 result. This should elevate them to the top of the constructors' standings, and it should pull Sebastian Campo right within reach of this Drivers' Championship with 4 rounds to go after this one. So it's a double Mercedes DNF. One dragon down in P17, the other will be out of this race. It is devastating for the team in blue. Not to be confused with the team in dark blue with the 1-2 at the moment, which is absolutely incredible. Ultra though, he has got fresh tyres and Tom Leon. He is going to go down the inside of the Red Bull to take 2nd place to minimize the damage and start to close in the championship. Things are unlikely, but they're still possible. And when they're possible, you've got to give it a go. You've got to go all or nothing at this point in the season. We're like right into the deep end. And this is where the championship fights start getting mega intense. And we all know there's going to be probably some fists down at Dragon with the strategy call that was made. Keeping one driver out and putting the other onto slicks when Inters were coming out for the Red Bulls behind them in the garage. Here we are, the final corner is coming now for Sebastian Campo. He's just got to last one final lap of this race, and victory should be his. Best of luck to all these drivers, as they'll be really trying to push, but of course it's rain. If you push too hard, you're going to spin, and when you spin, you could crash, and that is not good at all. Here we go, the final lap, 14 of 14. Tom Leon looking to keep the podium position that he has got. Of course, his car pretty underpowered compared to the guys like Ferrari and McLaren. So it'd be a miracle to hold on, really. It would have been an absolute miracle to hold on P2. Ocava's got round the deadly corner, and Ultra done the same thing. Tom Leon should get round. He's got a car with less power, so I imagine what he does. Gets round it easily, also recovering up at P7 at the moment, as Carlos Eduardo, depending on how things go for the rest of this race, he could be on for a possible P5 result today. But Sebastian Ocampo has been untouchable with this incredible strategy call. We had a few incidents in this race that stuck out many strong cars, but Ocampo, he's managed to survive. He comes round the final corner. This is the best result possible for him. He's not done in this championship yet. He wins the Malaysian Grand Prix and set the fastest lap at the end of it. Ultra takes P2 in the end from Tom Leon. It's a double Red Bull podium, and Red Bull should be elevated to the top of the constructor standings. You'll see if I'm wrong, but I think he is. I think they are at the top, which will definitely make Paul Cream, their team principal, happy. Eduardo finishes P5 from Castro and Olsen. And Warsaw Games will the Steelmakers also get the fastest lap of this race. And there we go. So Verstio should not move ahead of everyone. Eduardo, Castro and also keeping their positions. Salma getting their first points of the season with Devin Butler. And Lamphal P11 missing out on points from Livery and Ravo. Taco Van Horn will finish P14 from Sigmund and UK Ball. And then we got the final two, Bogdasarov and Marcus Klein. Sergio later on Sonic, Joey Benedetto and Thierry Headley all out of this race in their own collisions. But that all marked the end of an incredible Grand Prix. Team Duran was on the horizon. Some wanted to gamble, but the gambles had failed, and overall led to even worse things, especially for one driver who we all know. But here we go, the podium for today. It's finally a race that has two or less constructors. Well, two constructors on the podium. That's like the lowest you can have. But yeah, Sebastian Ocampo winner today in Malaysia. Ultra gets second place from Tom Leon. And with that, we're done in Malaysia. Can't wait to see you next time. But first, let's listen to the Filipino national anthem. So Ocampo, Ultra and Tom Leon on your podium today. Max Adelaide gets 4th and Williams get a best result of the season, getting in 5th. From Damian Castro and Jens Olsen, also making a pretty good recovery as he can make some gains in the Drivers' Championship. First, Theo gets 8th from Racket Crumley and Devin Butler, who scores Salva's first points of the season. Now Fogg just missing out. Livery gets P12 from Bravo and Taco Van Horn, with Sigmund in 15th from Cable and Daniel Bogdasarov. And then we have Marcus Klein from Blade Sonic, Team Sergio Roberto and Headley with BDS, Sergio Roberto and Headley all out of this race. And so with that, we're done in Malaysia. We've got one final quarter of the season to go. It's the final 4 races where the championship battles are truly on. We'll see you next time when we begin the final quarter of the F1 Classic season. Can't wait to see you then. Hope you have a good day and goodbye.